Finally, some positive news when it comes to inflation here in the U.S. The inflation report for July was released yesterday. Our ABC 7 financial contributor and investment advisor Brian Mirau of Mirau Capital joins me now to talk about the report. Brian, go ahead.
Hi, Mark. How you doing today? Well, the Consumer Price Index was just released, and the news was better than expected. And, even though we're not out of the woods yet, there is some good news. Prices are still up about 8.5%, but the economist had projected an increase of 8.7%. Now, the gasoline index fell by 7.7%, so there's a little bit of relief at the pump right now. And these latest numbers give us a little bit of hope that inflation maybe has peaked, and now maybe things will start to level off. Now, the better than expected numbers contributed to a stock rally yesterday that gave Wall Street one of its best days in months, with the Dow increasing over 535 points.
Now, Brian, many still have concerns about a possible recession. You specialize in retirement planning. What do we need to know about trying to retire in this economy?
Well, Mark, recession predictions are all over the place right now. And there is certainly fear, and that's why it's important to have a strong financial plan right now. Every situation is different, but retiring in volatile economic times is not uncommon. And there's really 5 things that you should check on right now. First thing you want to check on are your expenses, and ask yourself, do you have a good solid budget? The second thing you want to look at are your assets. Are all of your eggs in one basket? You want to check your risk tolerance, and have you done a risk assessment? You want to look to see if you have an income gap. Okay, and you want to take into account inflation and ask yourself, do you have a gap between your income if you retire? And then you absolutely want to look at your taxes. Have you looked at tax strategies to save and possibly combat inflation?
Well, speaking of taxes, some analysts say this is a good time for a mid-year tax checkup, so you still have time to make adjustments before the end of the year. So what should we be looking at with taxes right now?
Well, Mark, there's taxes is one of those things that you really have to pay attention to, and we have to be prepared for an increase in taxes. And many opportunities exist in our tax code today. As an example, you might want to look at a Roth conversion strategy. These can reduce the forced distributions from your retirement accounts, like your IRAs, your 401ks, and your other Section 400 retirement plans. When these distributions are forced to come out, they come out as ordinary income and are completely taxable. And if both spouses have retirement incomes and one were to pass away, it further accelerates the problem for the surviving spouse. And every situation is completely different, and it's important to have a forward-thinking tax strategy in retirement. But if you have not already done so, I recommend looking at Roth conversion strategies and possible other strategies out there.
And as always, Brian, you like to remind us we need to have a game plan.
Absolutely. You have to have a game plan for your investments and a game plan for retirement. A big part of that is being as tax efficient as possible. And, one thing we're offering to all of our viewers today, Mark, is a free in-depth tax analysis. And in the tax analysis, we identify opportunities to become efficient against taxes in the future. Many times we can identify strategies to reduce thousands of dollars in taxes throughout retirement. And if you want to give us a holler and run a tax analysis, you can give us a call at 888-668-9327 and ask for your free tax analysis. And you can also visit us online at www.mirocapital.com/TV. And again, that's 888-668-9327, or visit us at our website at mirocapital.com/TV.
Brian Mirau, as always, thank you so much for your time.
Mark, thank you so much for having us today.